Our downtown Providence studios. ABC 6 News at noon starts right now.
We're tracking developing news in a suspicious death in Attleboro. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Doreen Scanlon. The body of 50-year-old Joseph Kilroe was discovered inside a burning home on Dunham Street. Firefighters were called to the triple-decker around 9 last night. Kilroe's body was found inside a bedroom on the 3rd floor. The home appears to be a sobriety house for people recovering from addictions. 14 people live there. Detectives are now interviewing them to find out what happened. ABC 6 has a crew in Attleboro working the details. We'll have a live report tonight at 5. The bass player for a rock band performing this weekend at the Comcast Center didn't make it to the concert. Instead, he spent the night in jail and this morning in court. Michael Todd plays for the band COHEED in Cambria. They opened last night for Soundgarden. Hours earlier, Attleboro police say Todd robbed a WALGREEN'S pharmacy. He allegedly showed the pharmacist a cell phone note claiming he had a bomb and demanded OxyContin. He left the store in a taxi, which was later tracked down by police. He's charged with armed robbery. The longtime girlfriend of Whitey Bulger is hoping she can convince a federal judge to release her. Catherine Krieg is due back in federal court today in Boston for a detention hearing. She was apprehended last month alongside Bulger at their apartment in Santa Monica, California, after 16 years on the run. Krieg and her twin sister are willing to post their homes as collateral for her release. Prosecutors argue that Krieg is a flight risk and they want her held through her trial. Meantime, you can own a piece of Bulger memorabilia. A seller on eBay claims to have the lottery ticket signed by Whitey Bulger from his 1991 shared lotto win. The Mass Millions ticket, worth $14.3 million, was split among Bulger, associate Kevin Weeks, and 2 others. By the way, the federal government seized much of Bulger's share collected before he went on the run. Firefighters in New Bedford are being praised this afternoon for their quick work putting out a mill fire. Flames erupted inside this mill on Healy Street shortly before 4 yesterday afternoon. It took 60 firefighters to get this fire under control. 3 firefighters were taken to the hospital for heat exhaustion. ABC 6 spoke with a neighbor who saw the fire and called 911.
You see the smoke just billowing off the top, huge flames. Within 3-5 minutes, they were here. They had their trucks, they had the ladders already up, they had the water going, connected. I mean, they were so fast, I couldn't believe it.
The part of the mill that caught fire is vacant but under construction. The fire appears to have started on the 4th floor. The cause remains under investigation. It's looking like Central Falls may have to file bankruptcy despite recent attempts to save the city from financial ruin. The Central Falls receiver in charge of its affairs now says bankruptcy is a real possibility if concessions aren't made soon. If bankruptcy is declared, the city would become part of a rare group of cities and towns. Since 1980, only 46 in the entire country have filed for federal bankruptcy protection. The fate of dozens of city employees in Fall River could be known later today. The city says it needs to either lay off union workers, which include firefighters, government employees, police dispatchers, and public works employees, or other workers may have to take pay cuts. It's all in an effort to get the city's budget deficit under control. President Obama turning up the heat on Congress, demanding lawmakers agree to a debt deal within 10 days. He spread that message loud and clear holding a press conference that just wrapped up about 10 minutes ago. ABC's John HENDREN has the latest from Washington.
When it comes to the deficit, President Obama says we have to think big.
Now is the time to deal with these issues. If not now, when?
He doesn't want a temporary deal to raise the debt limit. He wants a big deal. Democrats say House Speaker John Boehner agreed to put on the table letting the Bush tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans expire. That's a major concession from Republicans.
Unfortunately, over the weekend, Speaker Boehner said, I can't deliver. I can't produce on my side.
The sticking point, Republicans were not on board for raising revenue. They call them tax hikes.
We're not going to raise taxes in the middle of this horrible economic situation.
Democrats have a word for the Republicans' approach.
What is really appalling is to see our Republican colleagues essentially providing a form of extortion.
The goal is a deal in the next couple of weeks so the law can be written before August 2nd. That's when the federal government's slated to run out of money, marking the first time the U.S. government has ever defaulted on its debt. If that happens, credit rating agencies say they will downgrade the U.S. government's credit.
You're going to see catastrophic damage across the American economy and across the global economy.
That nightmare scenario, Social Security checks and military paychecks go unsent. The stock market tanks along with your retirement account, and all that stifles the economy and leads to massive layoffs. John Hendren, ABC News, Washington.
Now, the deadline to raise the debt ceiling is August 2nd, and the president is confident it will get done. Coming up tonight on ABC 6 News at 5, we'll hear from Rhode Island's congressional leaders and where they stand on the deal. We are keeping a close eye on Syria this afternoon. Angry pro-government protesters attacked the U.S. embassy there this morning, smashing windows and raising the Syrian flag on the compound in Damascus. The violence comes just days after U.S. and French ambassadors visited the opposition stronghold of Hama in central Syria. Preparations are underway this afternoon for the funeral of former First Lady Betty Ford. Her family and friends will gather tomorrow for a private celebration of life service in California. That's where she and her husband, former President Gerald Ford, lived after the White House. On Wednesday, her casket will be flown to her hometown of Grand Rapids, Michigan for a public memorial and funeral service. Lynn Cheney, Cokie Roberts, and Rosalind Carter will deliver the eulogy. Mrs. Ford was 93 years old. Time now for your first forecast. Another hot and humid sun-filled day in southern New England. We take a live look outside right now. You can see the haze out there. ABC 6 Storm Tracker meteorologist Matt Legore is here with a look at the forecast. Hi, Matt.
How you doing, Doreen? Good afternoon, everyone. It's one of those days where it's just tough to be outdoors. So hot and so humid. You can see the temperatures right now in downtown Providence, 81 degrees, 90 degrees already in Boston, 83 in New Bedford, and 80 degrees even along the south coast and westerly. Whole lot of sunshine out there. High pressure is going to be in control for at least one more afternoon, and that's why we're going to hold on to mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day. Tomorrow afternoon, you can see some showers breaking out across the Great Lakes. Those are going to be rolling through later in the day, and then after that, we're back into the sunshine. So take a look at the first forecast. Again, no problems, no precipitation in the forecast, just a whole lot of sunshine, warm temperatures, and very muggy conditions with dew points in lower 70s. What's in store for the next several days? Again, your 6-day forecast is coming up in a few minutes. Stormy?
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Still to come this noontime, sharks in the prowl in area waters. Will their presence force officials to close some popular beaches? Plus, the Boston Bruins still on the road, showing off their prized possession, the Stanley Cup trophy. Word has it, they plan to stop in Rhode Island.
When you see news happening, call the ABC 6 newsroom toll-free at 1-800-755-6666 or email us at news@abc6.com.
It's Empire's big summer blowout.